Hey, what is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video of my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over some NBA games for Tuesday, February 15, 2022. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into the games. We are going to be looking at all the games on the board here: Cavs versus the Hawks, Mavericks versus the Heat, Celtics versus the Sixers, Pacers versus the Bucks, Hornets versus Timberwolves, Grizzlies versus Pelicans, and Clippers versus the Suns to end the night. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And then on this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers that are specific to the game. The way that I have it structured here is I have the road team, the away team up top, their coach's record, their season record, their away record, any other notes I want to add. In the middle is the head-to-head record between the two teams, all-time, regular season, and for this season in particular. And then at the bottom is the home team, their season record, their coach's record, any other notes I want to add, their home record, things like that. So let's go ahead and get into these 7 games. I'm not going to take up too much time, as I usually say. I just want to get right into this. That way I'm not taking up too much of your guys' time having you watch this huge, long video. But let's go ahead and hit the highlights for each game. Bring up the screen here. Starting with the Cavaliers versus the Hawks. Cavaliers versus the Hawks. All right, so let's start with the Hawks, the home team. If the Hawks were going to win this game, they can sit on 30 losses for the season in their 30th home game with a win. They could pick up their 126 all-time head-to-head win against the Cavs as they pick up their 126 regular season head-to-head win against the Cavs. Today, if I get to the right date right here, February 15th, it's the 162nd day of the Hebrew civil calendar. 162, 126 are just anagrams of each other. Today has 23 date numerology on the Gregorian, as well as 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. The Cavaliers could become 35-23 for a season record with a loss. And the number 35 and 39 are identical in all 4 base ciphers. So on a date numerology of 23 and 39, Cavaliers could become 35-23 with a loss. 35 and 39 are identical in all 4 base ciphers. Today has 14 date numerology on the Gregorian as well. The Cavaliers can get their 14th road loss to go with. And it's the 15th of February. And Cavs coach can get his 79th loss regular season for his career as a coach for the Cavs. And the words 79 at sums to 152, it being the 15th day of February. And then 59 date numerology on the Gregorian, 59 written out sums to 54. The Hawks coach can get his 54th win regular season as a coach for the Hawks to go with. Those would be the numbers for the Hawks to win this game. If the Cavaliers were going to win this game, you can say something like, this is the Cavaliers' 31st away game. This is the Hawks' 30th home game. Hawks can go from 30 to 31 losses for this season. If you actually write out the number 31, 31 sums to 46. And today will be the 46th day of the Gregorian New Year. Cavaliers, they can get their 36th win for the season. 36, if you write out 36, it sums to 152, which is today's date, February the 15th, written 15/2 or 2/15. And Cavs would sit on 125 all-time head-to-head losses against the Hawks, as they sit on 125 regular season head-to-head losses against the Hawks. Again, today being February 15th, 2/15, 15/2, just an anagram of 125. And then the Cavaliers would get their 18th road win to go with. 18, if you write out 18, it sums to 46. Today being the 46th day of the Gregorian. So those would be those numbers. Let's move on to the next one, Mavericks and the Heat. Mavericks and the Heat. Starting with the home team, if the Heat were going to win, they can get their 38th win for the season on a day with 23 date numerology. 23 written out sums to 163, the 38th prime number. It's February 15th. Mavericks coach can get his 215th loss regular season for his career. February 15th, written 2/15. He would sit on 216 wins for his career with the loss, it being the 162nd day of the Hebrew Civil. 162 is just an anagram of 216. Heat can get their 44th all-time head-to-head win against the Mavericks, as Heat coach sits on 444 losses regular season for his career with the win. And then the Heat would sit on 20 losses for the season in the 71st regular season head-to-head matchup between these two teams. 71, the 20th prime number. Heat can get their 20th home win to go with, as they sweep the Mavericks 2-0, like 20 head-to-head for the season to go with. And those would be some numbers for the Heat to win this game. If the Mavericks were going to win this game, you'd point to the number 14 on the Gregorian calendar, 14 date numerology. The Mavericks could become 43-40 all-time head-to-head against the Heat with the win. 43 is the 14th prime number, and if you actually spell out the word 14, it sums to 40. So they could become 40-43 all-time. They would get their 14th road win to go with. And the Heat, they can get their 21st loss for this season. If you write out 21, it sums to 39. Today with 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. And the Mavericks can get their 34th regular season head-to-head win against the Heat as they pick up their 34th win for this season. And then this is a revenge game for Mavericks, so they can even the score 1-1, like an 11. If you write out the number 11, it sums to 27, and this is their 27th away game for this season. So those would be the numbers for that game. Moving on to the Celtics and the Sixers. If the Sixers were going to win this game, today does have 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. The Sixers can get their 35th win for this season. I already showed you guys 35 and 39 are identical in all four base ciphers. So on the day with 39 date numerology, they can get that 35th win. Sixers would get that 196th regular season head-to-head win against the Celtics to go with. 196 has a square root of 14. Today has 14 date numerology on the Gregorian. Let's see. 1027. Sixers, they can become 3-1, like 31 head-to-head against the Celtics for the season with the win. 31, I've showed you guys already. 31 sums to 46. Today is the 46th day of the Gregorian year, so we can go ahead and mark that a gray color too. And I think that's all I had for the Sixers. I didn't have too much for the Sixers here. We'll just keep it moving. Celtics, for the Celtics to win this game, they can actually get their 9th win in a row as they get their 34th win for the season, as they keep Sixers on 34 wins for this season. 34 mathematically is the 9th Fibonacci number, I believe. 34, yeah, 9th Fibonacci number. So Celtics can get their 9th win in a row as they get their 34th win, 34 the 9th Fibonacci, as Sixers sit on 34 wins for the season. And Sixers can actually get their 23rd loss for this season on a day with 23 date numerology. And 23 is the 9th prime number. So kind of a 9 pattern there that could be in favor for the Celtics. If the Celtics win, they even the score 2-2 head-to-head against the Sixers for the season, like 22. If you actually write out the number 22, it sums to 39. Today with 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. Today with 14 date numerology on the Gregorian. Celtics would get their 14th road win to go with. And 23 date numerology, the 46th day of the Gregorian year. The Sixers coach could become 83-46 for a record as a coach for the Sixers with a loss. He would sit on that 83, the 23rd prime number. And those would be the numbers for the Celtics. Let's keep it moving. Pacers and Bucks. If the Bucks, the home team, are going to win this game, it is the Bucks' 30th home game for this season. They can pick up their 113th all-time head-to-head win against the Pacers. 113 is the 30th prime number. Pacers would get their 40th loss for this season as Bucks become 4-0 head-to-head against the Pacers for the season. If you write out the number 40, you can see that it sums to 30. So in their 30th home game, they can get their 113th all-time win, the 30th prime. Pacers get that 40th loss. 40 sums to 30 as Bucks sweep 4-0, like 40. Pacers would get their 23rd road loss on a day with 23 date numerology for the Gregorian, as Bucks sit on 23 losses for the season with a win. Bucks would get their 36th win for the season. If you write out 36, it sums to 152, and that's today's date, 15th of February, 15/2 or 2/15. And for the Pacers, if the Pacers were going to win this game, today does have 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. Pacers could sit on 39 losses for the season with the win, as they sit on 22 road losses for the season with the win. 22 sums to 39. Pacers can become 3-1, or Bucks would fall 3-1 head-to-head against the Pacers for the season, like 31. 31 sums to 46, today being the 46th day of the Gregorian year. The Bucks would get their 24th loss for the season. 24 sums to 167, the 39th prime number, 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. We already know that 39 and 35 are identical in all four base ciphers. Bucks would become at 35-24 for a season record with a loss. Bucks would get their 24th loss for the season, as their coach gets his 89th loss regular season as a coach for Bucks. 89 is the 24th prime number. Yesterday was the Bucks coach's 285th game, and as a coach for Bucks, and he got his 285th loss regular season for his career. Today is the 286th game as a coach for the Bucks. He can go ahead and get his 286th loss for his career. I'm curious on how long this pattern would last. It did hit yesterday. It could hit today. But in theory, this pattern could go on forever if they really wanted it to. But you and I both know that it's not going to go on forever. So this pattern is going to break eventually. But keep an eye on that. See how far it goes. See if it goes another day or another 2 or 3 days. We'll see. We'll find out after today. But those are the numbers for the Pacers and Bucks. Let's keep it moving. Hornets and the Timberwolves. Hornets and the Timberwolves. We got 3 more games left. If the Timberwolves are going to win this game, it could be a revenge narrative here. This is the last head-to-head matchup between these two teams. Wolves can even the score 1-1 head-to-head against the Timberwolves, like an 11. As the Timberwolves get their 31st win for this season. 31 is the 11th prime number. If you actually write out the number 11, it sums to 27 and 99. And Timberwolves can become 31-27 for a record with a win in their 27th home game, this being their coach's 99th regular season game for his career. The number 11 sums to 27 and 99, and 31 is the 11th prime number. That could be the revenge narrative for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves would get their 22nd all-time head-to-head win against the Hornets. 22 sums to 39. Today has 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. And 23 date numerology on the Gregorian. 23 sums to 134, just like the number 31 sums to 134. 31 also sums to 46, it being the 46th day of the Gregorian. Hornets coach can sit on 134 wins as a coach for his career with the loss. This is his 307th regular season game for his career, which is the 63rd prime number. And we know the number 11 sums to 63 as well. This is the 62nd all-time head-to-head matchup between these two teams. And if Hornets lose, they become 29 and 30 for a season record with the loss, which kind of looks like a 293. And 293 mathematically, or 293, is the 62nd prime number. So those would be the numbers for the Timberwolves to win this game. If the Hornets were going to win this game, we could say that the Hornets coach can pick up his 125th win regular season as a coach for Hornets, today being February 15th, 2/15 or 15/2, anagrams of 125. Hornets would get their 41st all-time head-to-head win against the Timberwolves. If you write out 41, it sums to 46, today being the 46th day of the Gregorian. And Timberwolves coach could become 46-53 for a record regular season for his career with a loss. Today with 23 date numerology, 23 sums to 53. 53 mathematically is the 16th prime number, and the Hornets would become 16-16 on the road with a win. So there's some numbers there for the Hornets. Timberwolves would sit on 16 home wins with a loss to go with. And today does have 14 date numerology on the Gregorian. If you write out the number 14, it sums to 41 and 40. And Hornets can go from 40 to 41 all-time head-to-head wins against the Timberwolves. All right, Grizzlies and Pelicans. Grizzlies and Pelicans. So if the Pelicans were going to win this game, Pelicans could pick up their 24th win for the season. 24 if you write it out. 24 sums to 167, the 39th prime number. Today has 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. Pelicans can get their 41st all-time head-to-head win against the Grizzlies. 41 sums to 46. Today is the 46th day of the Gregorian with 39 date numerology. Today has 14 date numerology on the Gregorian, and the Grizzlies could become 40-19 for a season record with a loss. 40-19. The number 14 sums to 40 and 41, and the number 19 sums to 40 and 41. Share some similarities there with the number 14. The Grizzlies coach, he would get his 92nd loss regular season for his career, 92. 92 sums to 46. It'd be in the 46th day of the Gregorian year. And Pelicans would go from 40 to 41 all-time head-to-head wins against the Grizzlies on 14 date numerology. 14 sums to 40 and 41. They would get their 14th home win to go with. And those would be the numbers for the Pelicans. If the Grizzlies were going to win, it's basically the same numbers, but just in reverse. Grizzlies can go from 40 to 41 wins for the season on a day with 14 date numerology. 14 sums to 41 and 40. 41 sums to 46. It'd be in the 46th day of the Gregorian. Pelicans, they would become 23-35 for a season record with a loss. Today with 23 date numerology on the Gregorian, as well as 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. I've already mentioned this before. 35 and 39 are identical in all four base ciphers. That could be why Pelicans become 23 and 35 for a record with a loss. This is a revenge narrative for the Grizzlies. They could even it up 1-1 head-to-head against the Pelicans, like an 11. This is the Grizzlies' 30th away game, and their coach can get his 113th win at regular season as a coach for his career. 113 is the 30th prime number. And the last game on the board, the Clippers versus the Suns. Clippers versus the Suns. The Suns were going to win this game. It would be because the Clippers get their 31st loss for the season as they get their 18th road loss for the season. Both 31 sums to 46, just like 18 sums to 46. And today is the 46th day of the Gregorian year. Suns do come into this game with 46 wins, so that could be a good thing and a bad thing for them. It could be a good thing in the sense that they can pop from 46 to 47 wins as Clippers get their 31st loss, as they get their 18th road loss. 31, 18, both sum to 46 as I went over. But Clippers coach, he can get his 56th loss regular season as a coach for Clippers. 56 also sums to 46. And speaking of 18, if Clippers did get their 18th road loss, 18 does sum to 46, but it also sums to 143. And if Clippers get their 18th road loss, Suns would pick up the 143rd all-time head-to-head win against the Clippers to go with. And I think that's all I have really right now for the Suns. I didn't have a whole lot for the Suns. Clippers would sit on 12 road wins with the loss as they fall 1 and 2 head-to-head against the Suns, like 12. Clippers would sit on 29 wins as Suns get their 47th win, as Suns get their 25th home win. If you know those numbers, 29, 25, and 47. If you know those three numbers are identical on all four base ciphers, 29, 25, and 47. Identical in all four base ciphers. Clippers can sit on 29 wins. Suns can get their 47th win and their 25th home win in their 29th home game. So those would be some numbers for the Suns. If the Clippers were going to win this game, Clippers, they could become 30-30 for a season record with the win. This being their 30th road game. Clippers would sit on 134 regular season losses with the win. Today with 23 date numerology on the Gregorian, 23 sums to 134. Today has 39 date numerology on the Gregorian, 39 sums to 142. And Clippers would sit on 142 losses all-time head-to-head against the Suns as they pick up their 101st all-time head-to-head win against the Suns. 101 sums to 142 as well. And then, of course, like I mentioned, it is the 46th day of the Gregorian. Suns can sit on 46 wins for the season with the loss to go with. Suns would sit on 24 wins for the 24 home wins with the loss. 24 written out sums to 167, the 39th prime. Today has 39 date numerology on the Gregorian. And I think this is it for you guys. These are the numbers for the games. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support. Hopefully this helps seeing both sides. I know I kind of run through these pretty quickly, but at the same time, I know you guys don't want to sit through an hour-long video either. So I try to make this as quickly as possible, but at the same time, giving you some type of information that it's going to allow you to, to come to a conclusion or to add to your decode or to get you started on a decode, whatever it is that you're needing help on. I really wish you guys the best of luck. I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate you guys watching. And we have the All-Star Weekend coming up. So I'm going to continue to do these games this week. I'm going to try and do all the games tomorrow for Wednesday, all the games for Thursday. And then there's not going to be any basketball on Friday. I'm going to try and do the slam dunk contest on Saturday, the All-Star game on Sunday. And then NBA is out until, I think, Thursday of next week. So we might have a full week. I might start doing probably do more college basketball is what you'll start seeing me doing. But yeah, hopefully this helps. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh yeah, and I wish you guys the best of luck, and hopefully you win all the money in the world. I almost forgot to say that. Hopefully you win all the money in the world. Thanks again, guys.